Hello and welcome to Saguaro Spotlight. I'm your host, Deanne Kincaid. Today I'm here with our guest, Robert Blackton, who's going to tell us about his experience with stand-up comedy. Welcome to the show, Robert.
Thanks, Deanne. How you doing?
I'm good. Now, first of all, tell our viewers a little bit about your background.
My working background is I went to graduate school and started a business in marketing communications. And we did all sorts of things like work with designers and heavily writing, speech writing. We did, meeting design, things like that. Published a lot of materials before electronics completely took over paper. And so we were there for that transition. And we've done nothing but write. So
you had a lot of writing background.
Right.
Then you must have had a sense of humor to want to try stand-up comedy. Where did your sense of humor come from?
Of course, everyone, their sense of humor comes from, I guess, growing up on the East Coast and living in a giant pool of wise guys, I think, between Philadelphia and New York.
How about your family background? Did that contribute?
Family background was weird. My father had a very successful business he built up, and it went bankrupt, and then he became the town bookie to supplement his lack of income, and so he went from the IRS grabbing his Cadillac to buying another Cadillac later. So he did really good, but it was all illegal and under the table. But
didn't he also own a bar, I think you told me?
He owned a bar, and
did you bartend there?
I bartended, and
legally?
No, all that was legal. Yeah, you can't risk your liquor license when you own a bar. Yeah, we had captive audience of drunks, and I would get behind the bar, and you'd goof with them, and being the nature of the drunk is they're not going to go home until they're good and hammered, and so they had to listen to you basically, and you get to practice your material, and it was a fun experience. And
how about the East Coast influence? Did that influence your sense of humor?
Oh yeah, sure. The wise guy thing, yeah. And then going out into clubs in, say, Philadelphia and Trenton and things like that, and finding, just studying. I was studying because it was, again, a communications effort. Stand-up comedy is a unique communications device. And I think theater people call it breaking down the fourth wall, am I right? And where it's just you and them. You're pretty much, I hate to use the cliche, naked out there, but you are. You've got to entertain.
But what made you want to actually try stand-up? It's different from going to the clubs, and that's different from just hanging out at a bar, because when you're on stage, I've been told, with the spotlight in your eyes, it's just you.
Right.
What made you want it? That's some fearful stuff there.
Who would want to put themselves in that position? Okay, yeah. It's that I had gone to the clubs so much and watched, you see people do really well, and some first-timers bomb, and some professionals or guys on the circuit bomb. And for me, I said, I can bomb less than that. Let me try it, And so you write up, I wrote up a little routine, and well, then that was after I went to class. I found a class in town.
You did? You went to actual class to learn some stand-up comedy
here
techniques?
in Phoenix, yep. And
what did you learn there?
How to handle the mic, how to present yourself on stage, how to pace back and forth, how not to overdo things, and there's just get rid of the mic stand, things like that. So you don't want to stand behind a mic stand. And it was that, and then just write and edit and
and rehearse.
And rehearse like hell.
Well, we have a little clip of your first stand-up comedy performance, not the whole performance, but a 10-minute clip from that stand-up performance that we're going to share with the viewers right now to see how it worked for the first time for Robert. Okay, let's roll that clip.
I don't know if you've been reading, scientists have mapped the whole genome of a woolly mammoth. And they definitely plan on cloning one of these beasts. I think this is really one of the signs of the apocalypse. First of all, how do you feed it? I've been to PetSmart. I've never seen Purina Mammoth chow. What about Wookiees? Okay, come on, boy. Come on. No, not on that neighbor's one. No. This guy over here. Step over the Toyota. Step over. There you go. There you go. Good boy. That's a good boy. And, but I think, what do you say when it comes of age? What happens when it comes of age? Happy birthday to you. You're alone in the zoo. I hope you don't get horny. Because you're the only one of your kind and you can't get laid. Something wrong with that. So I'm convinced our future's going to look like the Flintstones. Because as the polar ice melts, they're going to find way more animals to play with. And cloning's like potato chips to these guys. They can't stop at just one. So I think we're going to start our day in the future like this. Morning radio. Your traffic report this morning, southbound 51. We still have that overturned brontosaurus in the HOV lane? Crews on the scene report, it's now caught fire. Motorists are advised to avoid the area. And off to work we go. Honey, it's off to work I go. Apparently I'm a Disney elf. Oh, we gotta call in. I'm gonna be late. Pterodactyls on the car. Pterodactyl. Hey, yeah, it's the big one again. Give me the broom. Yeah, give me the broom. Hey, oh, and he's got Mr. Boots. Let go of my cat, you ugly bastard. Oh, Mr. Boots. I thought cats landed on their feet. That's it for me. I hope you enjoyed it.
Well, there was plenty of laughter, so I'm going to assume that was a successful performance.
Oh, I sure felt like it was. Yeah, sure.
And I see it was in a club because a couple guys parked themselves in front of the camera and kind of blocked the view for a minute. But so tell me how you felt before the performance. Did you have butterflies?
Not so much. I expected to have the total anxiety breakdown that usually accompanies this kind of a thing. But no, because I was so rehearsed. I rehearsed for a good, almost a week before I went up there. I mean, every day, 6 times a day. I knew the material backwards and forwards. And I thought, I had faith in it. So I was like, I went up there and it was like, okay, do or die, let's do it. This is why I'm here. And
when you rehearse it that much, do you get sick of it?
yes, yes, you do. And it's like, you have to pull people in the room. Because, let me do this for you. And you're like, I need an audience of 1 here. And like, okay, and tell me if this is funny. And you have to rely on that. And, and the people that I used said, yes, it's good, it's quality, get up there, And
But you only know for sure when you do it in front of a live paying audience.
That's
is that
right.
the case?
And yes, it is. So you are always rolling the dice, but and because I had no repertoire. A lot of guys that have been doing it forever know what material works no matter what, no matter how hostile the crowd is, how drunk, a bunch of gals doing a bachelorette party, they're brutal sometimes.
It can be a challenge.
That ain't the word, but yes, yeah.
So how did you feel after you did that successful performance? You hear the laughter, you hit the nail on the head. How did you feel?
Completely elated. Completely elated. Yes, it's an incredible high for a couple of days. I was
2 days?
At least, yeah, 2 days. I felt like I was the mayor of the town. I could do no wrong. It was fabulous. It was a high like,
The success.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to find out exactly how this performance has influenced Robert's work, but first we're going to take a short break for a message and we'll be right back. So please stay tuned to Saguaro Spotlight.
So it's up to you to do your best to conserve water. Check your dishwasher's efficiency. Recent models can save nearly 5,000 gallons of water a year. Turn off the water while you shave and you can save more than 100 gallons a week. If you shave. Doing one thing each day will help conserve water in the desert. And remember now, only a drop. For more information about water conservation in the desert, visit azwater.gov.
Welcome back to Saguaro Spotlight. I'm here with Robert Blackton, who had his first experience as a stand-up comedian, and now he's going to tell us what he's working on now.
Okay, I'm working on a crime comedy novel that has consumed my life, and it's all about a bunch of East Coast thieves who work in a bar, and they, yeah, how about that? Surprise. And they try to make a gigantic score, and it doesn't work, so they try different crimes. I can't give anything away here, but yeah, there's some funny stuff in there.
Is this based a little bit on your experience in New Jersey, perhaps?
Yeah, there was quite a few bums and ex-convicts that used to come in and out of our place, and yeah, there was.
Give you some good characters and from your younger days.
Absolutely, yeah, right out of a movie. Some of these guys, and and that's how they were, and so yeah, and they were always looking to make a quick score, but they were never smart enough to pull anything really substantive off, So.
So tell me how the experience of learning and doing stand-up comedy has influenced what you're writing now, because obviously there's a comedy aspect to the crime comedy novel.
Right. Well, not so much the comedy, but the writing itself, because stand-up has become, well, a little of both. I guess stand-up is all about brevity, and you're expected to, or your goal is to make the audience laugh every 15 seconds, which is tough, and you want to learn when you learn how to edit that tightly for a performance, you're also learning how to edit everything you do as quickly as possible, and that's what I brought. It just helped me hone my editing skills for the writing of the book. So that, and how to implement comedy is a little bit different than it is just writing a straight ahead story.
Right.
So comedy, like they say, comedy's hard, right? And
so will this book be out soon?
no plans on publication date yet, but we're working on this.
Well, maybe we'll get a chance to have you back on the show sometime and talk about your book once it's published.
Okay, well, you twisted my arm. We'll bring it back and we'll hold it up right here. How's that?
Okay, thank you. I want to thank our guest, Robert Blackton, for sharing his experience today. I'm your host, Deanne Kincaid. Thank you for watching Saguaro Spotlight. Tune in again next time. So how many chapters have you got done?
Oh, 20,
Yeah?
20 chapters.
Okay.
Yeah.